Hey everyone, and welcome to another explainer. Right at the top here, we need to ask, what is Tower BlendZ? Well, I have to say, this explainer was actually created because we are just so incredibly proud to have Tower BlendZ in the community. They are making such a massive impact, not just by providing healthy foods, but by actively sponsoring one of our very own kids to learn game design over at FighterZ Academy. It's a truly amazing partnership. Usually when we look at local businesses or educational programs, we kind of look at them in a vacuum, right? But today, we're doing something totally different. We are mapping the powerful intersection of these two local powerhouses to see exactly how they're elevating their city together.
So that is the core of our story today. On one side, you have a wellness-focused food business, and they are literally funding the tech education of the next generation. It is just a beautiful, tangible example of community investment in action. So let's break down exactly who these guys are, starting with the physical pillar of this whole partnership, Tower BlendZ.
You know, their origin story is actually pretty fascinating. Tower BlendZ didn't just pop up overnight as some trendy new juice bar. According to their site, they were established following a really serious health scare back in 2018. They operate on this core philosophy they call food and faith. Their mission? It's explicitly to encourage a lifestyle change through healthy foods and education. They are so dedicated to supplying the Fresno and Clovis areas with whole food smoothies, salads, and acai bowls. It's a mission born out of a very real, very personal need for health, and they've brilliantly transformed that into a public service. They're literally nourishing their neighbors from the ground up.
And let's talk about that nourishment for a second, because the menu is absolutely packed. You've got their signature Tower Bowl, protein-packed options, and this amazing grilled chicken sandwich. But the crucial takeaway here is that they are making healthy whole food options both accessible and affordable. Plus, they've got these famous vegan smoothies, like the Detox and the Green Monster. They are giving people the exact feel they need to thrive. Whether you're grabbing an immunity blend or just a solid meal to get you through a long day, Tower BlendZ focuses on high-quality ingredients that actively build up their customers' health.
But hey, you don't have to just take my word for it. They're sitting at a 4.80 community rating, which is impressive all on its own. But what makes that number mind-blowing is the sample size. We're not talking about 10 or 20 reviews here. That 4.80 is aggregated from 909 reviews. In the food and beverage industry, maintaining a score that high across nearly 1,000 different customer experiences is practically unheard of. It just speaks volumes about their consistency, the sheer quality of their ingredients, and honestly, how deeply the Fresno and Clovis communities appreciate their commitment to wellness. They aren't just selling a quick lunch. They're delivering an experience the community implicitly trusts.
Right, so it's one thing to look at an aggregated number, but reading the actual feedback, that shows you exactly what's resonating with locals. Just look at this 5-star review from Gabriela Garcia. She points out exactly what she loves: the grilled chicken sandwich, the avocado toast, and her absolute favorite, the detox smoothie. Reading firsthand accounts like this shows exactly why people rally around them. It's the flavor, sure, but it's also the variety and the obvious benefits of eating real ingredients. Tower BlendZ has completely conquered the physical side of community health. But, as we mentioned right at the start, their impact definitely doesn't stop at the edges of their menu.
So let's pivot over to FighterZ Academy and see exactly what warrants this level of community investment. Their entire philosophy is built on a very specific, genius little switch. They want to move kids from passively playing video games to actively creating purpose-driven coding projects. Their motto is literally, from player to creator, make the switch. And I love this, because they aren't trying to take gaming away from kids who love it. No way. Instead, they're harnessing that exact same passion and turning it into a highly valuable, future-ready skill set.
Leading this charge is founder Tyrese Bailey. He's a deeply passionate educator and developer, and his approach is just fascinating. He integrates what's called social-emotional learning, or SEL. What does that mean? Well, it means while these students are learning vibe coding, AI, and real-world tech, they are simultaneously building up their own personal confidence. Tyrese strongly believes that every student deserves way more than just a glorified babysitter. His hands-on approach makes sure every single child feels seen, supported, and empowered. So it's not just about typing code into a terminal, it's about developing the whole child so they actually have the confidence to use those tech skills later in life.
Okay, so how do they actually pull this off? They use a very structured 3-step method, and it is incredibly logical. First up, learn. Students master foundational tech skills across all their classes. Second, create. They don't just sit there taking multiple choice tests, they build their own actual projects, including 2D games, learning design, logic, storytelling, the whole shebang. And third, celebrate. Students are actively rewarded for their creativity. This exact structure launched in 2023, and it has completely redefined youth tech education in their area. It gives these kids a clear, actionable path from complete beginner to holding a finished, playable game on a flash drive to show off to their friends and family.
And again, the community response is everything here. Listen to this review from a parent, Roy Robinson. He brought his 3 boys, who are huge gamers, to the academy. He noted that the instructor was super engaging, but crucially, all 3 of his boys actually grasped the concept of making their very own 2D fighting game. Just think about the empowerment that gives a child. To look at a screen and realize, I didn't just consume this game, I built it. This right here is exactly why a business like Tower BlendZ looks at FighterZ Academy and says, yep, this is an institution worth sponsoring.
Now, you might be wondering about the cost, and their pricing model perfectly reflects their mission of keeping things accessible. Sure, they offer signature and advanced courses for standard tuition, which, by the way, cover incredible stuff like web design, Gen VFX, and 2D game creation, but look at their community plan. It is completely free. Every second Friday of the month, they host hands-on STEAM mentorship for all ages, focusing on programming and robotics, and they even throw in a free community dinner. They explicitly call it a welcoming space with no cost, no barrier, just opportunity.
To truly understand this deep commitment to free events and sponsorships, we actually have to rewind a bit. Yes, FighterZ Academy officially launched in 2023, and yeah, they're featured nationally on ABC 30 Action News today. But the real origin story goes all the way back to founder Tyrese Bailey's own childhood. This entire academy exists because Tyrese's mom received a scholarship for him to learn game design. Funnily enough, he didn't even want to go at first, but his mom was strict, so he went. And that single moment of educational access literally planted the seed for everything FighterZ Academy is today.
And this quote from Tyrese, this is the emotional core of our whole explainer today. He says, "The lady who got us the scholarship let me and my brother use her son's laptop. That single act of kindness changed everything. Because of that one sponsor, just one person who shared their resources, Tyrese gained the skills that eventually allowed him to open this academy, an academy that's now teaching tech to an entire generation of kids in his city. It is the ultimate proof of the butterfly effect, isn't it? When you invest in a child's education, you aren't just helping that one child, you are potentially funding the person who will go on to uplift thousands of others."
Which brings our explainer full circle today, when we look at Tower BlendZ, a business built entirely on healing the community through healthy food, and see them choosing to step up and sponsor a local kid at FighterZ Academy. They are literally becoming that exact same catalyst that changed Tyrese's life all those years ago. FighterZ Academy openly states their dedication to paying it forward and ensuring every child has access to these transformative opportunities. And Tower BlendZ, they're making sure that happens. It's just perfect synergy. Healthy food fueling healthy minds, funded by local businesses, supporting local education.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. We've seen how a health scare blossomed into a thriving community juice bar. We've seen how a borrowed laptop evolved into a coding academy featured on the evening news. And we've seen how these two incredibly different entities linked arms to sponsor the next generation. Everything starts with one single action. So, looking at your own life, your own city, your own daily habits, how will you be a catalyst for change in your own community? Whether it's choosing where you buy your lunch or deciding to sponsor a student, every choice sends a ripple. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and as always, keep learning.